So I commented today on one of Nagad's videos where I was kind of explaining to her why I like her channel. And I'll just kind of put in a little bit more words here. For some reason, there really is, or there was, I should say, this like crab barrel mentality, right, amongst black people and the scarcity of resources. And here's the thing, like, we live in a society and I felt like so I was trying to get at this the other day and then I think I kind of got lost in the weeds where Akon was describing how everyone has a place. Like men have a place, women have a place. This is actually true. This is true. Now the problem is like counterculture has come in and like stolen quite a lot of spaces because like for some reason like ugly broke black men believe that like black women are unattractive to everyone, which isn't true. Like there's no woman who's like unattractive to everyone. Like if all black men said we hate all black women, we don't want them all anymore, in the world, in terms of society would find just a different use for black women. But it's just like there's like Africa, which is a whole continent. Like black men in Africa have a place for black women. And then also in America, as you see, there are many men who have many spaces for black women. Like they're marrying them, they're dating them, they're their girlfriends, and all these things. And there are some black men in America who are also like, there's a place for black women there too. But there's kind of a growing group of like black American men specifically who have like made it their whole career path to almost like say, not only do I like hate black women, but I'm going to come out like capitalize off of the inhumanity or something of the unwomanness of black women. Now, this is very strange because all it does in terms of society is also prove the non humanness of black men because they're kind of one and the same, right? Like, black men come from black women, like that whole thing. So, it's like the self hate doesn't equal like self love on another side, it just is self hate. So, this is another reason why I think it's really important for like Nagad to like, I mean, it doesn't have to be me, it could be someone else, but to like actually learn, like pull from something that does exist, right? Like there are other black women who have been working class who've found ways to like parent effectively, and you can have your opinion about this, but I think I did that in a very pragmatic way. I would hope that she chooses to learn from that and grow from that. I mean, there's certain things that are helpful. Like when I was studying poverty specifically, I was studying literacy or how to learn how to read and literacy in early childhood development. That was just where my passion was for a multitude of reasons. Like specifically watching like challenges with Ariel, like watching her learn how to read and seeing like struggles there, understanding like my own childhood and the way that I learned how to read. Like I grew up with Hooked on Phonics. She grew up with Kumon, which is like one step past that. And my mom didn't have either of those things. So literacy is very big, for me in early childhood development. And, I did a lot of reading really about early childhood development, but I did it a little bit later. At the same time, I did it, right? And so I see Nagad starting to dive in it, and I would just hope to be there to support her. And it's like, if she was a person who didn't care about that or who wasn't as communicative or who didn't talk about it or didn't strive to improve, then it might be like, okay, maybe I just wouldn't be very interested in her path. Like, there are other black mom YouTubers. I just don't think that they're very smart, and I don't really feel like they are open to constructive feedback, and so I don't feel like my comments would be useful at all for them. Whereas with her, I feel like they actually would be useful. Mostly just because I feel like she actually wants to raise autonomous, like, people, like humans, like autonomous black humans, yes, but also like autonomous humans, meaning like when her children turn 18, they won't be solely reliant on her. They will be able to take care of themselves. Where I feel like in not just America, but in a lot of parts of the world, black parents are raising dependents who are like forever dependent on them for everything. And so this is why they actually are unable to like leave their communities, and tribalism is on the rise. It's just this idea of like, well, our tribe does it this way. And in reality, like, black tribes don't own land. Black tribes are not in charge of resources. Like, I was just reading an article yesterday about how Zambia is in heavy debt to China, and China has decided to restructure the loan or something. But if they don't repay, and they don't seem to have the capacity to ever repay, they will never get out of debt. And it's like this for so many African countries. So, I mean, don't get it twisted. In terms of like world economics, women with vaginas will always have value, even if black men get enslaved, because Africa becomes a slave continent, because black men continentally never get their shit together, which, I mean, the world is kind of trending that way. If y'all didn't see, like, Jack Dorsey seems to like love a black girl right on his arm. Drake can't get enough. Like, the rich men of the world seem to have many spaces for black women, and unfortunately, even poor black women will have space too, because there will be tons of men in the developed world who will still have them. They will just have multiple wives, and the people who will be down bad are just African men or black American men who are down bad now. They're down real bad. Women and men don't actually hold the same place in society, if that's unclear. Maybe we should try to like really explain that. It's just not even remotely similar, and I don't even know how that's a question or a serious conversation. Like, people are confused about it. That's not confusing. Ugh.